Hello, I'd like to show you my method for making individual tie plates for my O-scale railroad. The material I'm going to use is this 10 thousandths thick piece of scrap black ABS. I've taken some camo colors and some iron oxide primer and just given a light dusting over this so that it looks like it's rusty. I modeled the turn of the 20th century, and at that time the weight of the rails was pretty light. And for my 90 to 100 pound rail, a tie plate was about 8 inches by 12 inches. Those are convenient measurements in O-scale. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut an 8-inch wide strip of plastic off of here, and 8 inches in is 0.1667 inches. So I've set my caliper to that, and I'm just going to scribe a quick line. I'll lay my straight edge out. On that line. Give it a quick scribe. And break off my styrene. So this is the raw material, the raw stock that I'm going to feed through a Northwest Shortline chopper to get my individual tie plates. The next thing I want to do, I want to create a template for putting in the spike holes. So what I have at hand is some 10 thousandth brass sheet, and from that I've cut a 8-inch wide section of brass. What I do then is mark off my 12-inch length, which is 250 thousandths. So I'll just mark that out across my sheet with my caliper. I'll grab a piece of rail that I'm going to use on my railroad, and I'm going to center it on the brass in the middle of that 12-inch length for the tie plate. Taking a small punch, I'm going to punch 4 holes for my tie plate. These are just the pilot holes for holes that I'll drill in a moment. It's very difficult to see there, but I now have 4 holes that are right at the web base. So I'll go ahead and drill the holes through my brass. So I now have 4 spike holes in my brass on the 8-inch wide by 12-inch deep section. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the Northwest Shortline chopper. The first thing I want to do is I want to set my ABS stock at the 12 inches of the long dimension of the tie plate. So I'll set my caliper there. We'll bring the straight edge to 12 inches. Now I'm going to take my brass spike hole template and align it so that it presses against the blade. With all of this in the correct orientation, I'll now tighten it down. So I want to double check that the spike hole template goes right to the edge of the cutting it, and it's just a little proud. We'll pull it back just a skosh. Another check. Yeah, it just clears the cutting edge. So now I have a stop with my straight edge to hold the ABS at 12 inches, and I've got the spike hole template. So now what I'll do is I'll push the ABS into the chopper, bring it up against the stop. With a sewing needle put into a pin vise, I'm now going to poke the holes for the spikes through the brass template. And now that the spike holes are in place, I bring the chopper blade in, give it a chop, and out comes my tie plate. Put it back into the ABS back into the stopper. Poke holes for my spikes. Bring the blade in, give it a cut, and retrieve the tie plate. And as I retrieve it, I see that's a nicely formed tie plate. So now for my railroad, because it's dual gauge, 3 tie plates per tie, about 18 ties per foot. All I have to do is sit around here and do this for a while. Thanks for joining me.